Indeed, indeed, we are wondrous. I think we are. About why is Grandma making so much food? Granddad can't be indulging so much of the food, can he? I think Granddad sends the food to someone that we are intrigued by, and that's the monster on the cover. I wonder if that is the case. I think we should read on to the chapter 11 to see if truly, or should I say, to see why. Actually, let's not even be of a question of. Let's just indulge. Let's absorb and truly be of an indulgence to truly see what will be of a thoughtfulness because, well, we have questions about this, yet this has not been finished. So maybe a question will come after we finish this. Let's just be of a wonder by actioning upon our ponder. Meaning, let's just read. Work builds first, Grandpa announced, banging open the kitchen door. He headed up for the refrigerator. See, I'm right. Grandpa pointed to our empty milk glasses. Are you two ready to help with this shed now? Wait, why is Grandpa right? Oh, because he saw the carton of milk being empty. Okay. Eddie, the children didn't come here to work, Grandma scolded. Why don't you two have some fun exploring the house? There are endless rooms. I'm sure you will find some wonderful treasures. So the grandparents want them to actually be of an explorative matter. Okay, that's quite of an interest. Great idea. Grandpa's face lit up with a smile, but it faded quickly. Just one warning, you'll find a locked room at the end of the hall on the second floor. Now pay attention, children. Stay away from that room. Why? What's in it? Clark demanded. Grandma and Grandpa exchanged worried glances. Grandma's face turned bright pink. It's a supply room, Grandpa replied. We've stored away things in them. Old things, fragile things, things that could easily break. So stay away. Clark and I took off. We were glad to get away. Grandpa Rose and Grandpa Eddie were nice, but weird. The kitchen, living room, and dining room took up most of the ground floor, and we'd seen them already. There was a library on the ground floor too, but the books in there were old and dusty. They made me sneeze. Nothing very exciting in them. So Clark and I went upstairs to the first floor. We made our way past the bedrooms, or should I say our bedrooms, past the little hall window. We followed the twists and turns of the dim hallway, until we came to the next room, Grandma's and Grandpa's bedroom. I don't think we should go in there, I told Clark. I don't think Grandma and Grandpa want us snooping through their things. Come on, he urged. Don't you want to check it out? For pancake crumbs, he laughed. I shoved Clark hard. Hey, he grumbled. His glasses slid down his nose. It was a joke. I felt my stepbrother in the hall unopened. I left my stepbrother in the hall and opened the door to the next room. The door was made of heavy, dark wood. It groaned when I pushed it. I fumbled in the dark for the light switch. The room glowed a sickly yellow from a single dirty bulb dangling from the ceiling. In the dreary light, I could make out cartons, a room full of cartons, snacks and snacks of them. Hey, maybe there's some cool stuff in these boxes, Clark said, pushing past me. You see how they say snacks? A lot of snacks. And then we have sugary pancakes, very sugary pancakes, and nevertheless, apparently so. So the monster really likes sugar, I'm presuming, and I'm guessing because I'm pretty sure the grandparents are feeding the monster or hiding him away, maybe in the locked room. I peered over Clark's shoulder. The room smelled so musty and sour. I held my nose and squinted in the dim light, waiting for Clark to reveal what was inside the box. Clark struggled with the cardboard flaps, and finally they sprang open. I don't believe this, he explained. What? I demanded, craning my neck. What? Newspapers. Oh, newspapers, Clark reported. We lifted the top layers of newspapers to reveal more newspapers. Oh, the yellow newspapers. We opened 5 more boxes. Newspapers! All the cartons were stuffed with newspapers. A room filled with cartons and cartons of newspapers, dating way back to before Dad was born. More than 50 years of newspapers. Why would anyone want to save all this stuff? I wondered. Whoa, Clark leaned over a box across the room. You're not going to believe what's in this one. Whoa, what's in it? Magazines, Clark grinned. My brother was starting to get on my nerves, but I made my way across the room. I liked magazines, old ones and new ones. I shoved my hand deep inside the magazine box and lifted out a stack. I felt something tickle the palm of my hand. Under the magazines, I peeked underneath and screamed. I ain't gonna say anything. Let's just move on to chapter 12. Hundreds of cockroaches scattered through my fingers. Cockroaches. Where is the monster? Where is the monster? I need to know how to kill a monster. I flung the magazines to the floor. I shook my hand hard, trying to shake the ugly brown insects off. Help me, I wailed, get them off. I felt prickly legs scurrying up my arm. I struggled to brush them off, but there were dozens of them. Clark grabbed the magazine from the floor and tried to swat them off. But as he whacked my arm, more roaches flew out from the pages onto my t-shirt, my neck, my face. Oh, no, I shrieked, help me, help me. I felt a cockroach skitter across my chin. I brushed it off and slapped one of my cheek. Oh, frantic, I grabbed Clark's comic from his back pocket and began batting at the scurrying cockroaches, brushing and batting, brushing and batting. Gretchen, stop, I heard Clark scream. Stop, they're all off, stop. Gasping for breath, I peered down. He was right. They were gone. But my body still itched. I wondered if I would itch forever. I went out into the hall and sat on the floor. I had to wait for my heart to stop pounding before I could speak. That was so gross. I finally moaned. Totally gross. Tell me about it, Clark sighed. Did you have to use my comic? He held it up by a corner. Not sure if it was safe to stuff back in his pocket. My skin still felt as if prickly roach legs were crawling all over it. I shuddered and brushed myself one last time. Okay, I stood up and peered down the dreary hallway. Let's see what's in the next room. That's kind of exciting. Really? Clark asked. You really want to? Yeah, why not? I told him. I'm not afraid of little insects, are you? Clark hated insects. I knew he did. Big ones and little ones. But he wouldn't admit it, so he led the way into the next room. We pushed open the heavy door and peered inside. Chapter 13. Very soon to come. Blech.